everybody, MegaZardX here, back at it again to give you another episode on Zard's Thoughts. And I have to say, what in the DK is going on right now? Yes, I'm referring back to the recent Nintendo Direct we managed to get. And in there, we managed to get Donkey Kong Country Returns. However, they failed to give you the correct name for this game at this point. It's literally called Donkey Kong Country Returns, because this series, or specifically this game, has returned like 3 different times. I was like, what on earth though? Mind y'all, I've been waiting for a new Donkey Kong game for literally a decade. I'm looking at my other screen right now, and it said that Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, that launched on the Wii U, released in February 13th, 2014. It has now been officially over a decade since we had the last new mainline Donkey Kong game. In the lead up to this Nintendo Direct, I was crossing my fingers and begging and pleading Nintendo. I was like, please give me some kind of new Donkey Kong game, even if it was slated for 2025. Just say something is coming along the way. They got me a little bit because they said, yes, a new DK game is coming along the way, and it is coming in 2025. However, it's not brand spanking new. It's just an HD version of a game that you already had on the Wii and the Nintendo 3DS, and now we're just going to bring it over to the Nintendo Switch. And I'm like, oh my goodness, though. I mean, yes, I welcome any new kind of Donkey Kong content, and yes, it has been a little bit of time since I played the Wii original. I didn't actually manage to get the 3DS version, though, but I don't know, this is a little bit rubbing a little bit of salt in the wound, though. But for those that hadn't played this game, though, I mean, yes, you're gonna be in for a great time, though. I mean, just looking at the trailer right now, I mean, obviously it's just a very straightforward HD visual coat of paint that they managed to slap on the original Wii version right here, though. However, I think one of the things that's actually really good about this version is the fact that they're basically taking the OG Wii one, right, and then combining the additional levels that were added into the 3DS version and slapping it all together with that HD gloss of paint. Which, you know, that's pretty cool because I never got to go through and play the Nintendo 3DS version, though. So I'm definitely looking forward to picking this up. So at least there's a little bit of new content that I can actually personally look forward to that I had never had my hands up on. So I give them a little bit of credit for that, though. But honestly, we're long overdue for something new. Whether it be 2D or 3D, I mean, we gotta get something new. My hopes was, since this is basically like Donkey Kong Country's like big 30th anniversary, I thought we're gonna get something. We did, but I was hoping for something a little bit more substantial, or something like, hey, here's something for now, and here's something to look forward to it very, you know, in the distant horizon, though. Now, one thing that I think they could have done, or one thing that's still possible, the cards are still on the table here, though. We could get a new DK game in the sense of like a 3D one, which, you know, that might have been in the rumor mill for a little bit of time, though. I mean, Donkey Kong Country, or not Country, Donkey Kong 64, I mean, say what you will about it, though. It's not necessarily like the greatest platform of all time, though. But, you know, that was like their one attempt into 3D with Donkey Kong, though. And it's been a lot of years since then. I feel like Donkey Kong can definitely do a better job here now, especially with some of the studios that Nintendo has. Like, I think they're like, even if the same studio that made Mario Odyssey were to go out and make a new Donkey Kong Country game and just make it 3D, or not even have the country name attached to it, just a Donkey Kong game in general, though, I think they could do wonders with this IP right here, though. And then another thing you have to kind of consider is the fact of this big DK push that they're doing in all of the Universal theme parks. The ones over there in Japan, Hollywood is going to get an extension. And I think Florida's location is going to be dropping out sometime next year, though. So it makes sense that they wanted to at least put out some kind of game for Donkey Kong, just to kind of drum up hype and stuff and kind of capitalize on, you know, the whole marketing push that they're going to be doing for this series moving forward, though. But we're just long overdue for this thing, though. I don't know how many times I gotta keep preaching about this, and that's on my channel, my podcast, wherever else I happen to be spitting out on the internet. You might even hear some of my hot takes on Twitter and stuff like that, though. I don't know how many more times I gotta say it until this, you know, the day finally comes where we get something new, whether it be 2D or 3D. It'll probably be the day that I just don't say anything, and then it'll be a pleasant surprise, though. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to playing this game. I think I will plan on picking this up just purely for the 3DS levels alone, though. But Oh goodness. I think one of the other reasons why we might not have gotten a new game is, Retro Studios has been known to actually make the Donkey Kong Country games like Returns, Tropical Freeze, and all of that stuff originally though. However, now we know that they're working on, Metroid Prime 4. So I'm wondering is Nintendo in the sense of the 2D game is like, hey, Retro Studios has been tied up for all this time. Hence, that's one of the reasons why we hadn't gotten another one though. Because if you think about it, Retro Studios was working on some kind of game before and I think it got canceled because there's no good reason why it's been several years upon years that we just hadn't seen anything from them before we heard news of, after they rebooted Metroid Prime 4 and said, hey, now Retro Studios is working on it. It's like, well, what the heck were they working on beforehand though? Whatever it is, I think it has something to do with that robot arm thing that Reggie got in the picture frame right before he retired or something like that. Whatever the game they were working on, I just think it was canceled. I would love to see what they were working on though, but I think that's probably what happened with it though. So I just think that they don't feel confident with a 2D Donkey Kong style game done by anybody else unless it's like Retro Studios though. So that might have been some of the reasons why it's been literally over a decade since we got in a new Donkey Kong game. Like think about it. We went from Returns, the Tropical Freeze, the Wii and the Wii U title, went back to Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, and then went back to Tropical Freeze on the Nintendo Switch, and back to Returns again. So I'm like, man, we've been shuffling back and forth between these two titles lately, though. So I don't know. Here's hoping in 2025, hopefully not too much further beyond that, we can finally manage to get our hands on a new Donkey Kong game. I would prefer 3D, but I'm open for 2D as well, as long as it's just new in some kind of regard, though. But let me know down in the comment section down below, what all do you think about this new announcement from Nintendo in that direct, though? Are you excited about playing, this Donkey Kong Country game? Have you ever played it before is a better question, though, because if you hadn't played it before, this is still going to be a great experience, though. But for most of us veteran DK fans out there, though, yeah, we're just going to keep waiting. Just bide our time just a little bit more, I know it's been a decade, but we might have to wait another 5 more years. Oh, good gracious. All right, that's going to basically do it for today's video, though. So you really like this video, make sure you're going to hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell to stay up to date on all things video game related I feel like talking about and discussing. So remember, y'all, until whatever video I make next, see y'all.